Welcome back to the channel, people of the internet. I hope you're well and welcome back to Fixing Up the Commonwealth. And today, by popular demand, we're going to build a wee radio station, Radio Sunshine, for all you viewers. Now, strangely enough, I've actually got ahead in this building series, which is strange for this particular Fixing Up the Commonwealth. Usually I do them on a Monday or a Tuesday, but I've got ahead and then you guys gave me a request, so I'm going to jump this in front of the other builds that I've already done, but there's some good builds coming up in the next couple of weeks. And I'm going to use this old carport from Sanctuary, which I've got from one of my mods, so don't look that way. And we're going to plop the old trailer up on top of there, and then we're going to use that as a foundation to build around. It's a fun thing to do if you haven't done this before, is to get some of these kind of predetermined buildings and then start to use them as a foundation and work around it. So how does that look? That's still a little bit close to the edge, so we're just going to edge it a bit further across. The only problem, as you can see, working with that carport there, is it turns yellow once you put it down. You can move it with the pillar if you need to, but for now it's okay. And I'm trying to use as much new materials as possible in this build, just to switch it up a wee bit and see how we go. So I hope you enjoy this one. It was a very enjoyable build. In fact, I'm enjoying a lot of the builds I'm doing so far. As I said last week, I've just had a little spurt of energy and creativity, so I've started a build at Cutler's Bend, and well, you're going to be pleased with that. Now I'm going to do that. That's probably going to be a Monday build series, and we'll just continue with this one. I think with the Sunshine Tidings, though, it's getting to the point where we wonder how much more I need to build here. You know, it's one of the big problems is when you're building is when to stop. It's a bit like artists when they're painting. When do you stop, and you know, when is it complete? I think we've still got a lot of space here at Sunshine Tidings, but it's yeah, it's getting pretty crowded here, and strangely enough, the game was freezing up the other day when I was doing some decorating, so I don't know if I'm getting way past the limit of building and decorating, or maybe it's just one of those weird Bethesda stroke Fallout things that just has its days where it's being a bit special. So we're using these kind of ruined walls. They work very well. And I'll just put that in there just to hide that for now. In fact, I think I end up taking some of this out in the end, but anyway, you can't see that gap now, so out of sight, out of mind. So what I like to tend to do with a lot of my buildings is put them fairly close to the boundary line, and they end up acting as a natural kind of boundary. I do that a lot, and it saves me building fences everywhere. So we'll put that step in there. Probably needs to be a bit higher, but that's okay. We can get up there. So far so good. So that's the kind of basic frame in and running, and I'm going to just move this a little fraction forward because it wasn't kind of tight enough. Push it up a bit. It just rises a little bit, and that's much better. I like that. Okay, anti-shimmer, okay, and we're good. So in the end, you actually don't see much of this original frame, but the roof is cool. I like the look of the roof, and we kind of end up hiding it in the end, but it's a good starting point just to get your head around something that looks a little bit different. So we're going to put these scaffolding pieces in now. As usual, when you're doing, I like to get the first piece absolutely spot on because it will help when you move through the process. And if you get the first one right, you can just snap all the other ones off it, of course. You need to get the height right. It was doing some weird stuff. You see how it's gone red, and then I pull it out like this, put it back in, and it go green. It just really strange. I don't know what was going on this particular day, but anyway, all good. We get there in the end, and then just a case of snapping those across. Now I'm going to skip forward in a second because I had to do some fine tuning with this, and so we're all good now. The next part of this, now it's strange with the USO mod, I don't know what's done to my scaffolding, but I haven't got these long pieces in the USO mod. I've only got them in the original, so it's I have to flick back and forth between a couple of menus to get certain pieces to work here. I don't know, and I haven't got it's strange because the scaffolding pieces have actually disappeared from my original menu and are in USO, so I don't know what the heck's going on with it, but anyway, all good. So now we find a way up. We'll put that ladder down there so we don't have to come back. Now I do this the hard way. There's actually a much easier way to do this, and you'll see eventually I'll figure it out. Just roughly get the height right. If you snap that to there, that actually snaps to the bottom of the ladder. So and then you clip that to there. Now it's not quite the right height, and that's basically because, and you'll see me find the easy way of doing things. So I'll pull that out of there and try to pull it down. Oh, and I realised this will snap to the ladder, look like that. Okay. You'd think by now I'd remember that, but no, never mind. There we go. And then that bottom area there will just snap straight to that piece of wood like that, and then it fixes all the heights. Done. Look at that. It is a little bit shy of the ground, but it's close enough. Check the flow of everything now. This ladder becomes a pain to try and get up to, but I'll fix it a bit later. Anyway. Okay, what's next? Time to get some walls on, I think. Get your wall on. And I want to vary this up a little bit. Now that stairway is in the wrong place. I'm going to have to move that stairway again, but only a little bit. And you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. So back to my favourite metal walls, but I'll actually go a different route this time. Pop that corner one down there. I like the look of that. And then we'll ease it into there. Now I might just speed up while we're putting the walls in. I do put a variety of walls in here, but it is just putting walls in. Make sure if you're going to use this corner piece, make sure you get it straight to the foundation. They are pretty forgiving, those walls, and I do finagle that a little bit a couple of times if I remember rightly till I get it right. I could put that out there, but unfortunately we're so close to the boundary line that's probably not going to work. So I'm going to get one of those. I like these corner pieces, I really do. They work really well in this build, and they are pretty forgiving, pretty soft. Just make sure that they're nice and straight. I think I end up changing this wall a little bit later. Anyway, all good. Now I have a flash of inspiration here with thematic and practical, and it actually turns out really well. So initially I was going to put that piece in, and then I had a little bit of a brainstorm and thought, why don't I put one of these in? And okay, it's a countertop, but it just looks cool and fits there. So all we have to do now is just plug up the gap. And I'm going to go to this little one here and just put that in there. That should fit in there. I'm having some snappage issues, so I'm just going to go and get my glitching tool, my pillar, and I'll just run that straight in there. There we go. It should fit into that gap just nicely, which it does. All good. Like the look of that. Fantastic. Now, our entranceways, I need to move that across a bit. just a fraction. I'm probably going to have to switch off the global collision again. I noticed that I've been doing that a lot in builds lately. Now, some of you, I realise that watch these videos don't have place anywhere. You can achieve the same kind of thing with the pillar and the rug, if you really want to do this stuff, so don't worry too much. Okay, so that just squares it up a little bit, because I have another idea what I'm going to do with that particular entranceway. Because what I realise here is that those scaffolding are slightly protruding from the original structure. So I'm going to put walls on. Usually sometimes they'll snap. Usually the warehouse walls will snap straight to these. But I think the biggest problem is I haven't got a floor piece underneath them. So that's why it wasn't snapping. So just ease it in. It's about the right height for those scaffolding, which I like. There we go, and we'll build a little entranceway in there. Now these stairs are going to be the bane of my existence. Still not where they need to be, so we'll move them one more time. There we go. Should be about it now, hopefully, if I can remember how to use place anywhere. All good. Yep, all coming together. So what I now do is actually put some further foundation pieces into there, and so that negates the use of those walls, so I end up taking those out in the end. They're no longer needed. There we go. There we go. So it just helps to build the needs to be probably pushed forward a little bit. We'll probably leave it. It just helps to build this foundation a little bit further and gives us some extra room. So there's all kinds of collision issues here, of course, with the you can see the scaffolding sitting through the concrete, and the concrete's kind of, so it took a little bit of time just to get that right. So I'm trying some new looks. I'll try this wood look, see if it'll work. Doesn't look right. So I'd encourage you, whenever, especially if you're doing scrappy, is to really just vary these up and just see what works, what doesn't. You know, it's the way things happen. You just try things, put them on, have a look. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So yeah, that was snapping. I changed the angle. So that piece is all. I like the vibe, but it's not quite working for me. So what I decided to do is I go to the barn tab, and that actually just works straight away for some reason. But one of these, kind of, not the red one, maybe the green one, yeah, and a couple of holes in it, and it should just snap. There we go, just like that. Get it just a bit right. There we go, and it works straight away. See, so we're getting somewhere now. It's this building. I didn't anticipate that I was going to build this kind of little entranceway, but I'm happy that it just suddenly kind of appeared. So that you see how they're snapping now, and the warehouse walls usually do, and I think the difference is because I put a foundation on. So that makes a kind of pseudo little entranceway down the bottom, which I like a lot. Looking good so far, and kept that kind of scrappy vibe, which I like too. So we're going to build a custom entranceway here. So I'm going to use these kind of, I don't know what you call them, just half kind of wall pieces from the warehouse tab. Get nice and close, hiding in the bushes there. There's a bit of weirdness going on with picking some of these items up. There, it's working now. And this concrete structure is good because it's not high enough. It's actually quite soft, so you can sink the pillar down into it. So we'll have to do that again. So you'll see it, the pillar and that object, there's some weirdness going on, and it will not attach or let me pick it up. See? Oh, come on, no, Try it from behind maybe. Yeah, I think it was just a spot. Sometimes you get that in some settlements. There's just these weird spots where it just won't let you do glitching for some reason. It could be some of the mods I'm running. I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah, my attention span is not that good, so just try moving it. Sometimes it works. There we go. See? There we go. We should be close. There. See how it went green? That's when I know it's going to work. So, good to have it a little bit of a distance away so you can see it. Find that green spot and then just raise it up, and it should be high enough. A little bit further. There we go. All good. Rinse and repeat on the other side, and then we should be good. There we go. And I know it's going to go green because the outline changed. There we go. And we've got assigned a sort of doorway, and we do a little bit further work which I don't show you in this build, but on that, just to make it a little bit more support, look a bit more supported. So I like it. I like the overall vibe that's going on here. That's, yeah, okay, we've got some issues there. Apart from that, we're doing alright. So we're going to make a couple cosmetic enhancements, and then we'll go to the final tour. So the first issue is to try and resolve that that corner, and I'm going to go back to our favourite little walls, that one there. Just looking for the flow. I end up making an extension through here which I don't show you in this build, and you'll see you'll see in the final walkthrough. Now, when just after I done this build, Workshop Rearranged had a major update, so I've got a whole lot of new, thank you so much to the developer, I've got a whole lot of nice new tools to play. So I'm going to put that wall just in there like that, and it will just hide that area. I mean, I could have spent probably 20 minutes fixing that, but this is just as good. And this is going to be the kind of main control room for the radio station anyway, so it's not going to matter. In here, here we go, anti-shimmer, yep. Okay, oh good. So what do we have to do apart from that? Okay, so I'm going to put our favourite kind of chain link fence window in, and it's not all matches nicely into what's already there, so that makes sense to me. Make it sure it's high enough. There you go, all good. Yep, all works for me. Anti-shimmer it, and we're good. Okay, probably need to put some railings in, and then that should be all right, and we'll get to the tour. So one of the things that you can do if you have, you've seen me use the boxes before, but one of the things you can do if you do have an issue like this where it's not quite hitting the ground is just put one of those breeze blocks in, and it'll act as a natural stair. You see it'll walk up there. Alright, alright, going well. Now, what I tended to do with the with this here is I tended to not be able to get up the stairs for a while there, but so I end up changing this up a little bit. But I'm going to use these new railings that we get with USO, and just see if we can give it a little bit of a different look. To see what's available. You can see there's a ton of options. Oh, yeah, that one look. Yep, looks a bit interesting. There we go. Yep, I like that. So here we go, guys. Here's the final tour. You can see it's nestled in. There's a huge telecommunications tower there, nestled into that corner there, into that kind of void there. Put some chain link fences on either side just to frame it. Added to the junk, you can see that I've built a kind of new door frame and put a door in. Go upstairs. Still a little bit of decorating to do, but the majority's done. Wow, that is tall. And yeah, so put one of these sliding doors in there. Tried to put as kind of decoration in here, but not too much. And it's a pretty nice little area here. The bedroom I'm pretty happy with. It's I'm pretty happy and it's finished, but the other side, the actual radio station part of it, I think still needs a little bit of work to be done. So there's lots of pretty stuff in here. The Aussie flag is of course here. Gotta get that propaganda in. This side though, I've got to do a bit of work on, I think. I don't even have a chair for the table there. And I think I need to put a kind of return desk in here. So a little bit of work to be done up here. But not too bad, we're probably 95 to 99% there. And downstairs is the chill out area for the radio station. Now I think you're going to like this. So in we go. And this is kind of the green room, if you like. A whole collection of artifacts here, and there we go. We've got a little bit of a bar at the far end. A little bit of disco ball happening. The roof looks amazing. There's just all kinds of stuff that they've accumulated and brought in. Coca-Cola machine is full, so we're good there. You need a cigarette. You want to play darts, you can play darts. All kinds of lots of little pieces of decoration here, even with stools that have a happy face for you to sit on. Really happy how this turned out in the end. I wasn't expecting to go this direction, so it's always pleasant when you end up finishing and going, There we go. So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. It's this door has a bit of a... Oh, what the heck's going on there? I've got no idea what's going on there. What might closing door? So this is the kind of control room for the radio station. Still got to put something in there. Quickly get out this door. So hope you enjoyed this one, guys. It was a lot of fun to build Radio Sunshine. And we will catch you next time in Fixing Up the Commonwealth. See ya.